Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of the Misfit Toys Comedy Live Stream. Can I get some snaps? Can I get some jazz hands? Yes, 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 world. We can feel you all the way in the UK and Wales. We can feel you in London and New York. We can feel you in Los Angeles, San Diego, Denver, everywhere in between, South Africa, France, Hong Kong. Everybody's been tuning in. It's been an amazing, amazing week. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Paula Jane Newman, Aidan Park, authors, entertainers, artists, Renaissance people. So excited to have you on the show. And like we always start.
Thank you.
Breakfast and BITCH. We are reclaiming the word by spelling it. What's bizarre, ironic, terrifying, crazy, or hard? Because if it's and, we need to stop this call and have an intervention. So what has been bizarre, ironic, terrifying, crazy, or hard? And what did you have for breakfast? Paula Jane, take it away.
Okay. Well, before I have a bitch, which I, prefer to only do either if I'm in a positive state of mind or if I'm a queen. So I'm going to put on my crown tonight.
Yes.
So I fit quite nicely. Oh gosh, I see. Where are the crons when you need them?
I know, right? You would have.
Oh my god, I can't do this backwards.
Giving a shout out to Ray from Wales. What's up? What's up? We love you, Ray, so much. What's going on?
Well, I will say to the Welshies, Borada. I'm Welsh. My family is Welsh, actually. So this is not wearing well. I'm an epic fail.
Hey, Janelle, Misfit Toys in the house too. Some shout outs. Yes, yes, yes. So Paula, BITCH and breakfast.
Breakfast. I live.
Let's fix this hair moment that's happening to the side. I won't. I'm going to be your gay BFF. Yeah, now you good, girl. You good. I'm sorry, woman.
It's great when Julia Roberts came around. In the whole Pretty Woman thing, I was doing great, and then it went out scandal. And you know what they did as a kid? They drew me on the board. They drew like a big face. And then and underneath they wrote the name Paula. And I would walk into class and the pit of my stomach would be like, they're like, did you even brush your hair today? And I was like, if you only knew, so hair. Hair. My breakfast is full-on Los Angeles frou-frou drink. I go to my local coffee shop and they make a drink called nothing less than the Paula. I kid you not. In a minute, I'll bring up a picture on Instagram. Like, it has my name on it. And people come up and say, what's your drink? Because it has a double protein. Sorry, everyone in the UK. Double protein, rice protein. I have almond milk in it, like decaf shots of espresso, because as you can imagine, I'm enough already. And it is with Swiss water process, so don't give me any stuff about decaf is worse than rum. It's the high good stuff. And then on the top, just because I have a bunch of whipped cream. I'm not lying. This is what I have for breakfast. It's called the Paula, and when I go out of town, I miss my people.
I can understand that. I can understand.
Where can we find this Paula? Where are you? Are you in LA?
I certainly am. I'm going to give a shout out to the coffee shop because it is an individual business owner run by a woman who
drop it in the chat so we can populate.
Oh my gosh, yes. They have managed to keep their employees staffed during COVID. Everything is to go now, but it's M Street Coffee in Studio City.
M Street Coffee in Studio City. Is it just the letter M?
Mm-hmm.
So M Street Coffee in Studio City.
They all know my name. I have a tab. Okay, and the tab goes not under the name P for Paula, not under the name letter N for Newman, but under the letter A, because I'm awesome.
Oh my God.
Misfit Coffee in Studio City. Order the Paula if you dare. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
This is not a lot. This is straight up. Like the new employee comes, whenever there is a new employee, I'm like, oh, hi, my name is Paula. And they go, oh, hang on. She has a special drink. And I literally just stand 6 feet away. I wave. And they're like, we got you.
Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it. Only you've become so LA. You've become so LA.
It's ridiculous. I should just off myself right now.
Where were you born? No, don't do that. What you were born in? Were you born in Wales or were you born in?
No, my mother was, and I was born in a military hospital in Aldershot in the UK, which is a military hospital no more, which means they were not messing around. We need this baby out. Apparently, my head stuck out like, oh, hell no. I don't think so. And it was a shift change. So all the medical people were coming in the army to get it checked off that there was a birth that they witnessed. And my mom was like, please. So she didn't quite know when I was born. I had to go to a Vedic astrologer to figure out when exactly I was born because there was too much chaos. So I was pulled out with forceps into this world. Way.
That's intense.
You need a schedule because it's blimmin' military in UK. We're not messing around.
That's intense for breakfast, Paula. That's a lot.
But remember, in Wales, it's past, we're glugging it away into the evening.
I know. I remember when I lived in London, not Wales, but when I was in the UK, I was like, oh, so your sobriety equals standing. So if you're standing, that's still sober. Until you're like on the floor or like crawling, that's drunk. Like I was there for New Year's. I have never seen so many tipped over people. Like I was just like, wow, the amount of alcohol they can consume is, and coming from a Ukrainian who also lived in Russia, I was like, wow. I mean, you got us beat. You got us beat. Oh, Aidan, breakfast and BITCH, please.
Okay, so my breakfast was coffee. Because actually, you know what? I'm actually staying with Iggy right now.
He's downstairs.
We're in the same house. I'm downstairs. He's upstairs.
It's upstairs, downstairs.
We're at the Misfit Manor. Our view is like all of like, I can't even show you, but you'll just have to go and log online because it's incredible. It's incredible.
So I mean, just the pillows back here actually is because I'm gay. In case people are like, oh my God, I hope he knows.
Wait,
gay.
I thought you were Asian, Aidan.
I'm gay and I'm Gaysian.
You're a Gaysian girl.
Back here are brought to you by Iggy because the pillows were ugly and he was like, girl, those pillows. And so he came and rearranged the pillows for me for this. So, it was Keurig. That was our breakfast. And bizarre. Okay. Can I talk about the Rob situation? Okay. So.
Oh, wait, before, I just really quickly, for all of the viewers who are watching, can you just tell us a little bit about yourselves, your books, what you do, so that we have context, because some people are not in the know. So before we get there, do you mind, Paula, Jane? Oh, boom, Aidan's ready to go. Yes, go.
I'm sorry. Did you want to go? Go ahead.
No, you brought the book.
That was the BITCH. Was the bizarre? Was the Rob situation?
Oh, I didn't get that. I'm so sorry for nothing.
The bizarre situation is, okay, yeah, I know. Thank you, Paula. Thank you. You got flicked off by the meditation chick. You know you're fucked up when you're flicked off by the meditation chick.
Well, we're going to talk about exactly how a meditation chick should really be today.
Fuck you,
but none of this namby-pamby in the sky. We live on planet Earth.
She's from fucking Wales, all right? Okay, so this is the situation for our listeners here. I'm dating a guy, and I brought him to this place on Wednesday night. Iggy met him, and when he saw, his name's Rob, and Rob saw that I was on the StreamYard with Paula J. Newman. It turns out that they went to college together and know each other. She's a year ahead, and yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, Isn't that crazy? That's so crazy.
Paula, do you approve?
Yes.
So
I don't know about Aidan.
That's to be determined.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
goodness.
Yeah. I love it. He's so cute, and he's really happy. Charles is his twin brother, so they're both really excited that we're doing this together. So hi, Paula, and Iggy met him, and we had tequila, and it was great.
It was good. It was good. It's 11 p.m. here. Nowhere is open still. Thank goodness for. I love you.
Well, it feels like with the three of us right now, we should be singing the line from ABBA, right? When I saw you last night at Tesco's. They'll know. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
So you know how Aidan is the gay that doesn't understand the pillows? I'm the gay that doesn't understand the musical theater. Like, I'm not that gay. I'm the color gay. I am not the musical gay at all. Like, I have no idea what you just said, Paula, but I do know. Yeah, I know who ABBA is, but that song I do not know. But I'm going to put it in the chat. What's the name of this ABBA song? What are the words?
Gosh, now I can't remember. When I saw you last night in Tesco's. Okay, I'm just going to have to go run out.
We're just going to.
When I saw you last night in Tesco.
Yeah.
Wait, I'll figure it out.
So for breakfast I had a delicious bagel that Aidan got.
That's it, Super Trooper.
Oh, Super Trooper. There we go. Thank you. ABBA Super Trooper. Got it. This
is the out of control live stream.
Yeah, this is just like bonkers wild. This is spiritual people gone wild. This is like, yeah, this is meditation. This is Zen gone wild. I can't believe this is what's happened. Like, wow, I'm in like, of all the year that we've been doing this podcast, I have these Zen masters that help you find your why, your truth, peace, empowerment. You get them together on screen, and all of a sudden it's just madness.
It's power. It's what it is.
The reason why I don't have the big curly hair is because I'm Asian. If I were white, I would have big curly hair too. So boom.
Shout out to UK Comedy with Super Trooper. Yes, liked it. We simply are able to connect to our authentic selves free of fear. Right? That's the power we have.
We need to speak about fear. Yeah. Oh, I didn't get to breakfast in BITCH. I had a bagel. Thank you, Aidan, for bringing the bagel. Bizarre, ironic, terrifying, crazy, and hard. For me, it was a moment that happened last night where I let my ego get in the way, and I try to practice the we, not the me, and really come at it as that's true success, is when you passion plus service, but service is about the we, not the me. Let the ego take control, and I just got on that stage and grabbed that microphone and was like, patriarchy, you must go down in flames. Rah! And got off the stage, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, that gay boy got really angry. Someone should take his unicorn hat off. Wow. But you know what? It felt kind of good, but I realized I was like, no, comedy, and this is a thing where is about uniting people through laughter and building rapport, but it can also be divisive and it can cut. And I let my ego get in the way, and I got up, and instead of being uniting, I was divisive because I let the ego step in. And so I was like, check myself. So I'm just putting out the universe. I recognize ain't gonna happen again. Or I'm gonna do my best for it doesn't happen again. So that's my BITCH and breakfast. And now my favorite part, Paula J. Newman, would you tell us a little bit about your artistic journey and some of your projects? I know you have this amazing book. You're an amazing entertainer. Please tell the world.
Thank you. Very kind of you. So my background is theatre. When I was in the UK as a kid, I did lots of educational theatre. So we would travel around and do educational theatre with really mean middle school agers, basically, and went and decided I couldn't take England anymore. So I moved to America as a teenager, and I did some studying in ACT, and then I went to where our mutual friend is, Carnegie Mellon, and I did the 4 years there, and nobody Nobody was coming to LA. Everyone was always going to New York, musical theater. And I thought, I can't take any more cold weather. I'm done. I need to go to California. Can we please do a showcase for Los Angeles? So I ended up in Los Angeles. There was a alumnus who said, you should go into comedy. And I did not know what to do with it. They've actually passed on. Their name was Lee Miller, and they would always do the Jerry Lewis telethon, which has now been taken over by Kevin Hart. And I followed for a wee bit another CMU alum, Jack Plotnick, and he had me come and follow him a bit doing comedy, but I just didn't know how to do it. I just couldn't separate, like, on stage being funny and like be funny now. I didn't know where my voice was. So I got into a big movie in, we'll just say it, Pirates of the Caribbean, quite quickly. And I then got hurt. I was doing The Hustle. I was doing all kinds of auditions and things like that. And then I got hurt and I got a repetitive stress injury, which some people would just say I have fibromyalgia because they don't understand why my body behaved that way. However, realistically, medically, fibromyalgia is if they can't attest something to one specific thing. So I have chronic pain, which you probably wouldn't know, which is why I looked into meditation, because they were just going to shoot me up with pain pills and drugs for the rest of my life. And my body was very much becoming adaptable to the medication you gave me.
So just so you know, I know we have viewers who suffer from the same, actually. So they were treating, it's symptomatic, not holistic. And so you're getting a symptomatic treatment. It's not holistic. And then you found meditation as a way to help cope with this.
Yeah, I was looking for a way to not live on pain meds for the rest of my life. And I heard that meditation can help with that. Quite frankly, I was having more mental anxiety, even though the physical pain was excruciating. The mental anxiety was, will the disability check arrive? What am I going to do? How am I going to retire? You know, I hadn't, even worked enough at that point. The relationship out the window, couldn't pay my bills. And so I thought, I can't, I'm too young. I'm too young to be living on pain medicine.
When did this happen?
2 years ago. I was
just so that some people can understand and relate. Like,
yes, it was 17 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I still have pain every day. I'm still limited, but what I'm doing now, even compared to 6 months ago, is remarkable. And that we'll get into maybe a bit later on my finding basically my purpose in life and how my body started to heal dramatically in the last 6 months or so. And so I then got into voice work as it happened. Yeah. You guys have a good support system in the UK.
Could you read it? Because we also do the podcast, the audio. So could you read Ray's statement?
Absolutely. I have chronic pain syndrome. I chose the drugs mainly because I have so many other issues that I'm on drugs for the rest of my life with them. Thank goodness for the NHS. Yeah, so no one here is belittling people who are taking medications. Absolutely, you have to follow your path and do what's right for you. If I need to take something small level, but I went down the rabbit hole. There's no doubt about that, and had to basically clean up my act. And as a result, I looked into meditation. I looked into many, many types of meditation. All are good. But at the time, I couldn't sleep at night because I was in so much pain. And I would take a nap every afternoon for about 3 hours. And I tried a technique that afternoon. I did it on my own. It felt horrible, right? Because we're told we're supposed to just clear the mind.
Right.
No. And I had loads of thoughts and I had loads of cushions. And I lay down for my 3-hour nap. In fact, what I thought was, oh, God, if I've ever needed a drink in my life, it's now. I need a drink to meditate. Like, that is what I need. It's so hard. And within a few minutes, my body didn't need to go to sleep.
Is this the Vedic meditation stories? Is this about that journey, the book?
Excellent question. Thank you. The book interestingly enough, I was already working on before I'd filed and created my nonprofit, which is to bring this meditation to large groups of people in underrepresented areas, like large numbers. Like no one is doing that. And I got stories because I wanted to hear real people's voices from how it changed their lives. Everyone was always selling, oh, now I've got the like Instagram sells, like, oh, I got the person, oh, I got the bigger bank account, oh, I got, the job I wanted. No one was saying what the underlying change that can really happen to people, like, I'm maybe not taking medicine anymore, or maybe I can hold a job, or I can be in a relationship, because that's unattractive when selling meditation. But I wanted these voices to be heard, because the technique really goes down deep. It isn't only like calming the mind, it's changing your consciousness of how you look at the world. Because if the body is off, the mind is off. Right? The foundation is right. So if there's a practice where the body can get 2 to 5 times more deep rest, then what happens is the brain starts to come online. And when that comes online, fear diminishes. And we're able to see more clearly than before. So wherever we're at, right? Wherever we're at, that's them. That's not me. They're saying their thing. I don't need to defend myself. I am who I am. And one starts to make decisions based on one's own true, authentic self. And as a result, there is less fear consciousness, and people start to shift their consciousness and the mentality. There's no need to think positive, because there's nothing bad going on, because our stuff is moving. So the Vedic Meditation Stories is a compilation of stories from people all over. One person who learned when they were 6, someone who, tried to off themselves and has shrapnel in the brain, and how they couldn't work, and how with their doctors, they are now able to have a relationship, they have a family, and even academics, like it's all over. And the first part is briefly describing what the practice is, and then my story and why and how aware meditation came to be during the pandemic. And it's an ebook. If you have Amazon Prime Unlimited, it's free, because you can get a Kindle book.
So if they click on this link right here, then they can get the book. Is that, and I'm looking at it here, yeah, Kindle Unlimited, $0 for enlightenment and a better life and a way to change your perspective. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of expensive to change your life and get off of drugs and have a much better. Wow, that's pretty amazing. That is pretty amazing. I don't know. Aidan, can you follow that? Do you feel the pressure now?
I know he can.
Aidan's like, well, I raised you your Vedic Meditation Stories book, and let me, so Aidan, now it's your turn to, can you outbook Paula? Can you outbook Miss Paula Newman? Girl.
What you gotta do?
You can only do body parts. That's it. You're just doing body parts.
It's OnlyFans, babe.
Oh my goodness. And this was a family show, I thought. So, Aidan, your turn.
Yeah. Okay. So, much like Paula had physical symptoms, I had very harsh emotional symptoms that led me to a spiritual journey, I would say. So real quick, I had a whole bunch of traumas growing up very early on. I came here undocumented. I was raised by a single grandmother in government housing in poverty in San Francisco. Before it was pretty, I graduate, can't go to college. I become a hooker. I get HIV as a teenager. I'm a homeless teen.
So we need to unpack that. I love how you just drops that I got you whole wheat instead of white bread.
Well, it's an hour show, so I mean, I'm trying to just keep it moving here. I'm being
okay. We might have to just.
For you, is that good? Did I follow her story?
Wait a minute. I think we just might have to itch out.
Oh my goodness. So we have this here, right? The Art of Being Gay. I don't know if it's reversed on your screen or not.
It's
and
reversed.
So
yeah.
And
unpack it.
Keep going. I'm looking at some of my favorite passages, but keep going. Tell us. So what is the core soul?
I actually, when I got to, becoming an HIV positive teenager at 19, I was, my life was changed by getting into empowerment. I started studying, I was somebody recommended me for a program, and I started really getting into it. Neuro-linguistic programming. I'm a master practitioner. And so
for those of you that don't know NLP, basically, you know, but I'm just going to do it for the.
Do it.
Is this half empty or half full? If you look at what's missing and you focus on what's missing, then what you'll invite is emptiness in what's missing. If you focus on what's there and call it half full, by reclaiming the language, you are basically reprogramming your perspective, which is what Paula was talking about also. That what you focus on is what you become. And by helping and retraining your focus by words via NLP or meditation, like Paula was talking about, that shift then over time and conditioning transforms your reality. Is that pretty much it, Aidan?
It's a part of it. Yeah. It's reframing your mind,
Yeah.
But the thing that kind of happened was, look, I came from nothing, right? Essentially, I had no parenting. My grandma couldn't speak English. I was here. I couldn't speak English. I had no parenting. And so I learned how to be from the empowerment standpoint. And so, but the issue with the empowerment standpoint is it's very, and there's nothing wrong with this, but it's very masculine driven, as in we want the results. So let's go make money. Let's empower yourself to get this. Let's empower yourself to get that. And I became successful. I became a producer at the Laugh Factory for 4 years. I became a headlining comic. I got all of these things. Thank you. And I was with a partner for 5 years. And then when I was 33, he passed away from cancer. And Iggy did my astrology chart, and he said that my problem area was going to be in sex and love, where I'll have to
not problem. His Chiron, his wound that his Saturn, his Chiron, his karmic wound is in Scorpio, which is sex, intimacy, magic, the phoenix that comes up from the ashes, but that is in this lifetime. That will be his struggle. That will be his biggest wound. So.
I've never actually, and he was a Scorpio. His name's Michael, and he was an incredible love. I loved him very deeply. And when he passed away, I hit I was like, I don't care about empowerment. I don't care about success. I don't care about anything. I just want to die. And I hit a point. I got suicidal. And the bottom point was when my mother called and she said, when your grandmother died, I was in such heartache and I wanted to die. And I would, you got to stay strong for me. And I said to her, well, then we should both kill ourselves, because why are you here? If you're only here for me, why? But you know what I'm saying? I'm like, why are you here? You're staying alive for me. I'm staying alive for you. So why are we here? We should just both go. And then I say that, and then people in the comedy clubs go, oh, but I'm glad you found the humor in it, because that's what I said. And then I was like, okay, I will do this. I will stay here, but I got to find a way to get happy, because I can't live like that. I won't live like this. I won't. I just won't. And so the first tactic that I took was I doubled down on the empowerment. I was like, let me try to work the empowerment to get more friends, to get more things, to get more success, to get more. It led to panic attacks. And I was like, this doesn't work. Mm-hmm. Then I was like, all right, what if I apply all of the tools of empowerment for the end result of emotional well-being? Screw the producing, screw everything. Let me make the goal joy and happiness and improved emotional state, and apply all of the NLP to that, instead of a tangible kind of goal. And when I did that and I applied that, my emotions became much better. It saved my life. And meditation was a huge part of it, actually. It really was. And also setting the neurolinguistic programming up so that I am leaning in that direction. All of those things. So within a few months, people started noticing, Aidan, like, how are you? How did you get to? Because they saw a difference. When I told one of my friends, she said, you should write a book about it. I talked to her. She helped me. I wrote this book, The Art of Being Yay, about how I apply. It's a humorous book about how I applied, mind tools to get happier, to get happy. And it turned into this movement where theartofbeingyay.com is a place where people can go to find tools and stories and podcasts and whatever to help people feel better. It's a place where people can go to, learn how they might be able to take charge of their own experience and empower themselves into a happier being. So that's my story. And you can go. And my hero, Margaret Cho, wrote the foreword to my book. So
yes, Margaret.
It's like
oh my God.
Because it is like a superpower. If you're happy, Paula, you know this, and Iggy, you know this. It's like, if you're happy, it's like a superpower that will get you places. Muscling through when you're miserable. So get happy, everything comes to you. You get what I'm saying? Instead of like just be like, I'm just gonna go.
So what can you define? What is happiness, Paula? What is happiness to you? What does happiness mean to you?
Ooh, what does it mean to me? That's much easier to answer than telling everyone what it is.
What does it mean to you?
I need a minute to go in. All the answers are in here. My favorite part of The Mandalorian is when the baby Yoda, I call it, gets to the temple. It's in ruins, and he recognizes the source. He can feel it. Puts his hand on the rock, and then you see the blue light go up because he's just gone in. And so when I can connect inwards, I know that's where everything for me connects to source. Then as I open my eyes, everything else is golden. Everyone is perfect the way they are. I'm fine the way I am. And I can go through life. Even when I have so-called setbacks, it's called being human. Rawr, enjoying the rawr. I'm human, right? Having the enjoyment of making mistakes, right? So to me, that's happiness. It's being able to connect within and know that I am more than anything that's on the outsides or anyone will reflect back. I feel that connection.
Love it. So I'm gonna just drop it. Joyful Journey is.
Ooh, that's the next book.
Well, there you go.
This is my cover of my book because it's an ebook.
So the joyful journey and really understanding that, it's like the moment is now. It's not that end goal. And I talk about this a lot in comedy, where there's this misconception that, and I love Margaret because she had this interview and she talks about comedy as a practice, comedy as a meditation, comedy as, you don't do Bikram to get a Netflix Bikram special. No, you do comedy as kind of yoga for the soul. And she sees it that way. And many of us forget why we do this. It's joyful journey. We're doing it and we forget to enjoy the process. And I think that's super important, is that having that contentment in the process and feeling that connection. What about you, Aidan? What is happiness to you?
I think you guys got it. Joyful joy.
No, but to you, is that the same? Is it the same? Would you say it's the same?
Yeah, it's what I really discovered. For me, it's freedom and expansion. That's what I really love, and I love that the world is set up in such a way where I can be in this beautiful home. I mean, again, it's such a beautiful home. But I can sit here and look at my hangnail and go, my life fucking sucks because of this hangnail, and just fucking fail. But you have the option to be able to go and create your own experience, your own emotional experience by choosing your point of focus, whether that be inward or outward, whatever. And so I love the idea that I'm curating my experiences and I have the complete freedom to do that and create out of that. And I love that. And so I'm finding this really complete freedom to do that.
It's whether it's the mind, whether it's the hangnail or it's a tsunami.
Yeah.
You take up the same space in the mind.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
And if I'm addicted to that, like if I grew up, like I had trauma as a child, then my system is wired for that to be normal.
Yeah.
I have to have that. I have to have that. And when it's not like that, it's, what am I going to do? So I try to sustain everything, right? So to face it in reality, I mean, this is the real bliss. Like this is the real fix. Finding it sober, finding it awake, right? That's the real fix with it. So it's whether it's a hangnail or not, it will take up the mind. And how do you get free of that? And at any moment, you're so spot on. At any moment, I can choose. Or I can, let's go.
You know, I think Paula, like, I think you got something that I want to put, I think was so wonderful. Like, your body gets addicted to whatever emotions it's used to having. And so in growing up, like from how I grew up, I was in constant danger mode, constant state of, and so taking back that power to not just run off with my first emotional response and go, oh, wait, we're retraining this way. And habitualizing a new pattern for yourself through meditation, through your thought processes, through visualizations. I think it's such a delicious process and it's so joyful. So I love that, you know, we're on the same page with that.
I also wanted to quickly add, if it's all right, that
Of course.
those of you who might have been a little alarmed either by what Aidan referred to or Iggy, that when you have gone down the rabbit hole and been faced with this is the end or not, and chosen to stay, it is non-negotiable
By
to
chosen
find
to
joy.
stay, you mean stay alive.
Yeah, be in the world, right? It is non-negotiable to have to find joy.
I
And
stay here and hold myself. It's not. No one should subject you to prison. Why holding yourself? Stay here and hold myself. If there's an echo, I don't know whose echo it is.
That was me because I am dropping a link to you. So you, just populate your Insta and your Facebook to give them the links so that our friends and family who are coming late to the game can still catch this hour of power. Right. So I just dropped you a couple links so that you can, because I know everybody shows up when they show up, but I know some people will have some questions for us and want to know a little bit more, you know, as to like, how did you get there? We're on Facebook and we're on YouTube. So if you're going to post on Instagram, drop the YouTube link because YouTube and Insta get along better and Facebook gets along with Facebook. So, and what does success mean to you, Paula?
oh, so success to me changes as I evolve. Like Aidan was at a certain point, it was all about getting certain accolades, right, in the material world. And I went down the rabbit hole because I basically was killing myself trying to get those gratifications and it wasn't coming the way it wanted. With what happened to me, success is every day and every moment, reaching out, being creative, whatever that is. I can be creative how I don't know, wash the dishes. Because when I connect to source and creativity, all things come from that. All comes from creativity. One doesn't have to be a performer to be creative, right? So I remember one time dealing with this mom who was feeling overstressed and needed to know a word, and the kid knew it. And I said, well, why don't you make it a game? Why? And then you're spending time with your child and you're telling me you don't have enough time with them, and make it into something creative. and the light went on, and they're, oh, wow, I can do two things at once, and becoming more efficient and creative. So success for me is my state of feeling and consciousness and my relatedness. Like, this is a success right here. I have two amazing people here connecting to source in joy. That is success. Every endeavor I do, whether it happens or not, it's always about me connecting with other people, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to connect with other souls in whatever it is. So people say, why are you doing so much now? Why are you doing so much? I know you're going to the chiropractor. Why are you doing so? Because when I'm in action in this world, when we call it in the karma kand, right? The in the world, the material world, and I'm relating to people, I don't know when or how anything is going to occur. Quite frankly, it's not my business. My job is to put it out there. And in the meantime, I get to experience joy and the process. Right. And that is success. People want to say, you only raised this much money. We raised this much money. I was like, well, you know what? For this whole time, I spoke to 1,500 people about wanting to come on board and how there's an opportunity for them to change their consciousness without stressing you out. And that just to see eyeballs, that's a possibility. It's a possibility will have them change their life for that moment. So if I'm up on stage and I, fall down or do something, someone's laughing and someone is saying, as they would say in improv, if you make a mistake, you take the biggest bow because you own it, and no one is out there owning failure, because failure is delusion. It's a delusion.
That was my next question. What is you're ahead of the game. I was like, so if that's success, what does failure? Paul, just keep rocking
failure is delusion.
I'm gonna adjust my light because Aidan's he's out he's out beautifying.
I'm shiny.
Oh, I'm getting shiny too, honey. I'm getting shiny too.
So I'm just trying to like, I don't know why. Like I gotta like powder my face, beat my face. So failure is, you were about to say before I had to.
Failure is a delusion. We can have goals, but the goal is to follow the goal as if we want to attain it. But the journey and the process is the success. If I don't take that risk, every day I take a risk. Every day I scare the out of me, right? Like, oh gosh, Paula, you're doing it again. What happens is I get less and less scared, less and less headspace compared to even January. And it's now April. It's living in this fourth or even fifth dimensional world.
What sign are you, Paula?
Okay, now we're going to go into this because it depends on what you're looking at. I'm going to tell you Western, and I'm going to tell you Vedic astrology because I've been studying that. So Western astrology, I am a Leo sun and a Virgo moon, and I am a Pisces rising.
Yeah, that's about to say, because I was like, that's a very obvious Pisces rising. Like, I was like, okay. Pisces is like the dreamer. They're already 1 foot in the other dimension. So we're talking about Pisces is like the vehicle that she navigates through this world is she travels back and forth between that other dimension and then the world and then the other dimension in here. And that's how she navigates. And we were talking about that earlier. So I was like instinctively, I was like, yeah, she got that Pisces vibe and she's doing the thing. I was like, all right.
And in Vedic astrology, what's interesting is because they're 22 degrees different, they have my rising is Aquarius because I am on the cusp. I'm a cusp baby, which means I'm right between Pisces, Aquarius. And my sun is a Leo, my moon is a Leo. So I'm real close. So I always have a good old read at all of them and take what I want.
Yeah, but it's perfect because Aquarius is bringing people together to do what the one cannot and get them to the next level. Except they got to jump now to this other dimension. So this is, it all like syncs up. Aidan, success and failure.
Okay. I think success is determining your own experience as determined by you, not living on autopilot. So I think you get to create whatever you want in this reality. And I think that if you are connected to your why, like Iggy likes to talk about, and you are making decisions from the wholeness of who you are, that is success. That process is success. And I think a lot of us have these resistance points, blind spots, and we have emotional traumas that we're living our lives reacting to. So we might be like, I want to make, $1 million. Do you actually want to make $1 million, or are you making up for a perceived lack in you? And so you're doing this for something else. Make yourself whole and make your decisions from the place of wholeness. That to me is success. And finding more and more of those resistance points and letting those go so you can actually have, freedom of choice. I think freedom of choice is success. That's what I think.
Freedom of choice is success.
Yeah.
I love this one phrase that they've ended up using in a podcast that I was on, which is life is 1% event and 99% my reaction to that event.
You choose not to. You can be like, I'm having a reaction. I want to do this, but I am aware that I am the person who determines what I do. So where is this reaction coming from? Let's resolve that so that we can move in the direction that we choose. Thank you. Freedom of choice, living with integrity. Right. So
and that's a reaction too, right? That's a reaction too. It's how you're reacting to what's happening, right? And
well, that's responding and reacting. So reacting is just going with whatever.
Okay, in your definition of it. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm having a react because everything is action and reaction, right?
That's for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
That's it. Newton's third law. I remember that from school. And there's a reason why I remember that, because it's interesting. I loved my physics teacher. He was so fun. I was awful at taking the tests, but I remember Newton's third law. Because why? It comes together now. It's actually karmic spiritual law. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I might not be able to see it. But it's happening in the cosmos somewhere.
That's the new theme of my comedy, is this exact, for every action there's this. So this pandemic really brought it home that for every action if you're every good, the yin and the yang, that double-edged sword. And the pandemic really brought that out. The way I say is, usually, to break it down, is like, whenever I see a rainbow, I start to smell something because I'm usually standing in a pile of dookie.
What?
And then whenever I step into a turd, I'm like, oh my gosh, lift up your head quickly because there's probably like a shooting star happening.
Oh.
And as I've gotten older, now when I see a shooting star, I'm like, yay. But then I'm like, uh-oh, where's the turd? Because I know it's going to come. Like, I know that comes one and the other. Like, there's going to be a turd. And I don't like getting surprised by turds. I like getting surprised by shooting stars. So now when I get great news, I'm like, thanks. And then I walk cautiously until I'm like, oh, there's the turd. Okay, now I can move on. Because it's like equal. But that's life. It's the cycle. It's winter, boom, 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 summer. You have to, the yin and the yang, and they all come. And I remember when I was younger, I over celebrated the good and I demonized the bad versus the other way around, and just understanding and celebrating the good and the challenges, because the only people that don't have challenges are 6 feet underground.
I do think that when you get a piece of shit, honestly, it's like fertilizer. You can choose to take that piece of shit and fertilize into a stronger soil, or you can take that piece of shit and get pissed off about it and then let it derail you into a direction you don't want to go.
That is true.
So Ray has just written for everyone.
Yes, read Ray's, because I like your accent when you read Ray's
Success
statement.
to me is waking up the next morning. It allows for all possibilities to happen. The choices are open to me. And so what happens eventually is, and we know this, we move away from good and bad. It simply is.
Yeah. It isn't good or bad. It just is. And like reframing it and calling it what it is. It's life. It's life. And celebrating the challenges, that it's life. In Kabbalah, they believe, which I really love this tale, that you have a conversation with God, with the one, with the source, about what you want to learn in this earth school. And then God, the goddess, the universe, touches you here, and you get the scar and you forget everything. And then you come down and you chose the lessons. but you don't get to choose the lesson plan. And so in those moments when you're on your knees crying up to the sky, why? Girl, because you asked for it. So say thank you.
Well,
That is the art of life, is not only to accept those moments, but to say thank you and be grateful for those moments. It's beyond acceptance. It's to be grateful for the most challenging, darkest. And then what I love with what Aidan and you took some of the most darkest, most challenging moments in your life, and you literally transformed those turds into diamonds. You completely, that is the art of life. That is the mastery of life. You are living proof examples of masters of life, of the art. And you're living this amazing, you both live these amazing lives and have these amazing stories from different walks of life, but the proof is, the secret sauce is taking those moments and turning them into diamonds, is shining them and flipping the script. And I really love the fact that we had this, it all synced up, you know, the synchronicity. I love it. I love when the universe just kind of clicks into place. And when you tune out the noise and you realize, oh, okay. And again, in Kabbalah, they believe that, you know, synchronistic moments, randomness, and being aware of that are like the little crumbs that lead you to where you're going. And so you know you're on the right path when random moments that just somehow sink into what your purpose is and they just happen organically. That's a sign that you're in the right path. And you follow those. And the more you do, the bigger the signs are, the easier it is to see. But there's just so much noise. It's like, wait, is that a sign? Is that a sign? Is this how do I get the monkey mind to calm down so that I can pay attention and see the signs?
It blows my mind that Paula knows Rob. I was already here Wednesday, and you know this thing, and I had a gig Saturday that got canceled like a couple days before you contacted me, Iggy. So if I had that gig, then I wouldn't have been able to do this. So
no. Thank you, Ray. We love Ray. He's my heart and soul. He's been with us since the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh.
And he is just so amazing. He is like super, like he's just a spiritual rock star. And the fact that we were able to connect in this time from such a far distant, you know, like I would never have met Ray across the end, you know, in Wales, but yeah, here we are and we connect, and it's just amazing. And it's just amazing.
Yeah. What part of Wales, Ray, are you in?
Yeah, we would love to know. And everybody else who's watching, if you want to write in where you're watching from or where you're clicking from, that'd be awesome.
So the other thing is that when I had spoken to Iggy a while ago, he was like, come on the live stream. Maybe you want to do it the day before you have this fundraiser event. I was like, actually, I want to do it the week before. He was like, oh, I can't do that. And then this week he's like, so can you do it this week? And I was like, and then here you are. Right. And I absolutely like loved your website. I was like, oh, this guy, it is going to be so perfect. What an alignment. And that's how it rolls. That's how it rolls. And we know that's how it's. And then you have a connection through someone I know as well. And that uplifts Iggy with what he's doing, that he's on the right path. You know, it uplifts everyone. When we're all in source and connected, everyone gets uplifted. So imagine if we had most of the world going inward, spending time, getting free of some of the stress, restabilizing the nervous system, how profound the shift could be.
Yeah.
Swansea, I knew. Oh my gosh.
Preach, Aquarium Pisces.
Okay, so Ray just said that he lives in Swansea. That's where my mum was born. She was born in Swansea.
Oh, I love it. Speaking of moms, it's time for some monologues. What are some mom lessons or strong female figures in your life? Doesn't have to be mom, but strong female figures. What lessons have they imparted? What big moments, lessons, aha things? I've got a ton of them because I've been, you Mama Nina's got lessons up the wazoo. So, and everybody's been watching the show. So I want to hear about Paula and Aidan, monologues, strong women. How have they influenced you? What were some of those words of wisdom?
I would absolutely say this is where I have a gap in my own life. And similar to Aidan, I dug deep and found a lot of that for me to provide it, right? Because what I'm doing heading up is a matriarchal figure, right? That's stepping into that zone. My mom was a single parent back when you couldn't get a job if you had 2 young kids. Right, there was a lot of prejudice in a small town, so there was a lot of struggle that went on. She had her own particular love of the bottle to cope with it, and I took on a lot of strain and stress and responsibility. I think I had my first, blackout drink at 8. I blacked out because I needed to just go somewhere else. So
But that's kind of British, though. I mean, I just want everyone like that, like for America to understand. Like that's kind of like, I mean, it's a little early. Usually, it's like at like 10. So yeah, you're a little like 2 years ahead. But that's a kind of a British thing.
That is so funny because at 10 years old, I remember going to the sweet shop and the woman saying, "You can't come here anymore and buy these smelly pens. They've been deemed addictive, and these, I won't say." Well, we would say rubbers, but erasers, and these too, you can't have them.
Oh, rubbers.
They are.
No, I love rubbers because when I taught English in Spain and I speak American Standard, and the little children in Spain, Profe Igor, do you have a rubber? Can I get a rubber? I forgot my rubber. I'm like, you're 6 years old. I mean, you Spanish kids grow up quick. No, I don't have rubbers for you. What is no? And I didn't know what they meant. I was like, why all these like 6-year-olds needing condoms so soon in Spain? Like, I mean, I get it. They're all like passionate and stuff, but like, relax. Then I understood that it's an eraser.
Yes, it's an eraser. I also would save up my pocket money and buy chocolate covered liqueurs because they would have them in the sweet shop all the way through the year. I don't know why, but they did. But she told me you can't do this anymore. And my response was, oh. And I went and bought a bunch of glue.
Oh my goodness.
Because glue just tastes, I don't know. I needed something to take me out of there. So I learned from my mom basically what not to do in some ways, but also her humor. No matter what happened, she had a great sense of humor. And at any moment, if we keep our humor with us, we had a lot of laughter in our household. There was a lot of stress around money, but there was a lot of laughter. And my main connection was her mother. And she died when I was 8. And I actually made a decision then and there not to trust adults. I was like, I'm going to be on my own in this world. And I also had a cognition of, I don't want to go to prison and I don't want to live on the streets. I better study hard to get to university. And that's not normal, I understand, for 8-year-olds, but it was normal.
I was just about to say, I'm like, I had a cognitive moment at 8 years old that I'm not going to go to prison and I need to stop sniffing glue and actually get my act together because this is what's going to, wow.
The challenge was I always felt really uncomfortable in my body and who I was. They make fun of me. I really thought that if I would been born in the Renaissance time period and I was queen, right, that my life would be better. And the reality was, if that had happened, I would be bitching. Okay, I said it. I would be bitching about the fact that the jewels are too heavy. I don't want to marry Prince Ugly, right? Oh, May, you have it so right. Please go forth and get my opiates, And when I realized that was my state of mind, it was a huge shift in my life that it doesn't matter exactly what's happening. It's how I'm responding to it. So I would say for the matriarchal figures now, honestly, I have been doing a lot of work with the Maori healers down in New Zealand. And
of course you have. Of course you have.
These women just sit there and it's very almost tribal. And, I sent an email. I invited one to one of my live streams for wellness. And there's, but now, I was like, so when am I going to get to meet you? I need to do more. Oh, I'm not traveling. And then I get an email saying, I just got a note for some people in Los Angeles who want me to come out. Isn't that interesting, Paula? And I'm like, isn't that interesting?
I
So
love
your
it.
turn.
What a dynamic! It just was such a dynamic and interesting life. That's just wow. I'm like wow. Aidan, monologues, strong female figures. Maybe Margaret just comes to mind as a very strong female role model for you. I don't know. I can't speak for you, but that just kind of popped into my mind. Maybe she, is one of the strong female voices that has inspired you. Please share with us.
Yeah, Margaret was one of them. I definitely watched her growing up. And so it's pretty cool that she supports me and my work and was nice enough to write the foreword for the book and everything, and it was wonderful. I think I'm getting to understand my mother more in my older age. Before, when I was very tangibly driven, I don't think I quite understood her and her intentions. But what I admire about my mother that I'm actually getting to love is she actually is always looking out for not to hurt other people emotionally. That softness, that kindness. And before that, I was like, because she would have a habit of even saying things because she didn't want to hurt people's feelings and then not be able to deliver. And I used to judge her pretty hard about that. But I see her at her core now. There needs to be a balance, but I see her at her core. She was driven by wanting to be kind. And so I'm learning to be more emotionally caring of others, because as we did our charts, I'm an Aries in my speak, and I tend to kind of come across a little. So I'm trying to be more mindful.
I'm used to it. I grew up with an all-fire household.
I love that this has gotten all astrology.
Yeah. I'm not watching myself. I'm watching you two. So I'm serious. Like, everybody thinks I'm so scary. I'm not. So I'm sitting here, and I caught myself a couple times going like, and I'm paying attention. So
I love it. I'm trying to think. If I have a new monologue that Mama Nina has instilled.
Mom, how old is Mama Nina vaguely? I think she must be like 125. She sounds so wise.
Oh, she's, I don't know. I remember when she turned 30. That's pretty much it. Like, she's just been 30. I was like, that's like, she's just been 30.
Forever 30.
She is one of the most, she has no shame. And I think that's one of the main things that, like, she is unapologetically herself.
Hmm.
She does not have shame. She knows who she is. She is strong. She smuggled me, dealt with KGB out of communist Russia when she was, barely 20, 21? Like, that's a strong, like, the strength and to just know who you are and do not apologize for that. And I think that really resonates with me. And I remember that the one moment where we we were doing the penis game. I don't know if you ever played the penis game with your mom before.
No, not at all.
Well, it only works in public. So you got to play the penis game in public. And so we're at this huge restaurant, and my brother and I are playing penis. It says, someone says penis, and the other person says penis louder. And you go boom, boom, and it's got to be in a big public space. And whoever says it the loudest outshames the other one, and they're the winner. So it's like penis, penis, penis. And then you start to get like, I don't know if I want to just say the thing. I mean, here comes my mom, and she says to him, what's happening? I'm like, Alex, don't say, don't. Oh, we're playing the penis game. I want to play the penis. I'm like, oh no. And so, no, she's like, no. I want to play penis. And I'm like, oh my God, if your mom wants to play penis in public, just no. So we start, and I'm like, penis. And then she just stands up, clicks her thing, penis! And the whole restaurant is just silent. And it was Little Maggiano's, where it's like this gigantic Italian restaurant. And it's just like hundreds of people, just silence. The whole, like, and there was just like a minute of just like, it was a penal pause.
Ha!
Bigger than the pregnant pause.
Oh, yeah. It was a palpable penal pause. And she sits down and she looks at me. I am the penis champion. You pay for dinner.
Nice.
And what it taught me, and I always remember, is the penis champion never pays for dinner. When you are unapologetically yourself, that paves the way. That is success. That the universe will take care of you when you are unapologetically yourself. But, and I think the secret sauce is what Aidan is, understanding who you are first. Because being unapologetically yourself, but not knowing who you are and not knowing your why and not living with integrity, and then that's just broadcasting nonsense. So first you got to know who you are, know why, what are those guiding principles, and then without apology, without boom, beaming that out. But you first have to do the work on finding your why, because there's a lot of unauthentic people who think that they know who they are and they're broadcasting nonsense, just noise. So before you decide to be unapologetically you, figure out who you are.
I think it's important to determine whether you're operating from a position of defense, like I'm myself from a defensive position, or I'm myself from an actual understanding of who you really are, understanding those defenses and actually healing underneath, operating from whole.
Yes, thank you,
Asher says,
Asher.
Aidan and Paula, thank you
Yes,
for
thank you,
sharing.
Ben.
Benefit says this message is so needed at this moment. Absolutely. And how do we do? We can't get it. The busy mind, let's just say the busy mind, is because it's stress. So the mind is attempting to solve a problem to preserve the physiology. That's its goal. It's trying to protect the body, right? So that it can continue to live as long as possible. When there's a fight or flight response, which can be hangnail, tsunami, that gets mixed up, the mind is busy. This is why there is busy mind chatter, right? We sort out the stress. People will get to the why faster.
Yep.
So the producer said that we can run a little longer. Is it okay if we just stay on for just a second? Because before we drop off, what are some tools to help? What are some questions, some guidance on how to help people find their why? And I know tomorrow we are doing an amazing, we are taping our Misfit Toys comedy special. It's been a year in the making. And here at Misfit Manor, we are going to be running 2 workshops, Mastering Your Why, and then Transformative Comedy, which is how to broadcast your why through comedic joke structure. And then we're going to go and rock this show in Sunset Cliffs. So a little teaser taste. What can people do to help find themselves? So Paula is saying the chatter, tune it so that you can hear your inner voice, because the chatter is keeping you from hearing that.
First thing, Aidan's I'm going to let Aidan take on his side of it. Finding a place to get yourself to sit and go within. And it can be really simple. And I'll do it right now. Actually, I'll help everyone. So breathing, so easy. But the format of breathing from India, they call pranayama, right? Bringing prana, the life force. What I'm going to show you right now will change your nervous system from sympathetic to parasympathetic, which means from the fight or flight to the relaxation state. And you're going to notice it as I quickly do it. And then when I talk afterwards, you're going to see there's a shift with me already. And it's really, really simple. Simply exhale through your left nostril. It might be opposite on the TV. Just exhale through your left nostril.
Like hard, like farmer blow?
Just real gentle.
So not a farmer blow.
And then when you're ready, inhale through that left nostril. Not stressful, just inhale as much as you need. Then switch your first 2 fingers or the middle 2 fingers onto the other nostril and open up the right nostril, and then exhale down there. And then inhale through that right nostril. Switch the fingers over and exhale through the left nostril. Already, I can just feel the difference.
Yeah, I have like this tingling sensation in my feet. I just feel like a little bit more like electric. Like
That
a
is
zzz.
so-
I don't know. Like I feel like this, like just this electricity, this vibration, just has started to happen. How
Yeah,
do you? I don't know if that's normal. That's just how I like. Aidan, how did it affect you?
I love it. Thank you. Great.
Now we're ready for your workshop.
Yeah. So Paula, I love it. Left, inhale, exhale, right, inhale, exhale, left.
Isn't it?
There's recap. So we exhale through the left,
Exhale left.
then inhale through the left,
So exhale left, inhale left.
and then exhale through the right,
Exhale right,
inhale through the right,
inhale right.
and then exhale through the left. And no forcing. Easy does it.
So exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale.
Exhale always on the left and exhale always on the left. That's one round of it. That helps the body get to a place to, you know, I'll do it sometimes right before I begin to meditate. And I had to find the Vedic meditation is a practice where you have someone teach you really how to surrender and let go. It's a letting go practice. There are the words meditation. It can be so confusing nowadays. It's like the doctor saying, just come back and, you know, just be healthier. Well, what is that? Are you running a marathon? Are you walking a block and having Starbucks? It's different depending on what you're doing, but they want the result to be the same. So this practice for me really helped reset, and I didn't need to take a nap anymore for 3 hours from day one. I knew it was doing something. I had lots of thoughts, but often it was stress coming up and out. And in 2014, there was a simple study done on an MRI with the University of Oslo and then the University of Sydney. And they simply had people do different meditations and they did the brain scan. Concentration techniques did exactly what you thought. A concentrated part of the brain was activated. Brilliant. This particular practice, what they found was more was lit up, but especially the areas that process thoughts, emotions, and deep rest. And that was my experience. And so we get that done in a waking state, then I can be applying principles that Aidan is talking about. Before I couldn't hear because of the mind clutter.
So we got to prime ourselves, just like you prime a wall, you know, you got to prime. And then Aidan, what are some questions we can ask ourselves when we're in that centered space to help us uncover our why? Do you have maybe a couple questions or primers to help people kind of get on that path?
Yeah. Actually, if you go to the website, theartofbeingyay.com, there's a link on there called Get Yay.
Okay. And, I think that if I put that up there, we might get in trouble because there might be some misconfusion.
Okay. That's
no, I don't think you get the joke, but that's.
I didn't get the joke. Okay, great. Okay. No, I love it.
I'm like, if we put in Los Angeles, Get Yay here, I think people.
I have to tell you, I'm not trying to turn anybody gay. You know, they always cry after.
I'm going. Yes, so I'm going to the website, and
if you go to the Get Yay page, I talk about.
Which one? Get Yay?
Get Yay.
Okay.
And it's a values evaluation worksheet.
Okay.
What it is you can sign up for it and I'll send it to you. It has a work through, and instead of thinking, well, what do you want for your life? Instead of just going after, I want the car, I want the this, I want the that, or what have you. What we want is we want to identify what are the core values that are important to you. For me, it's spirit, welcoming, and freedom. I must have that active and make my decisions of what I want based on those values that are important to me, and then I can work out. And those can change, but you have to start there so that you know what's important at the foundational level, deeper than externals, right? An evaluation worksheet for you to discover your top 7 values. You know, some people, it might be beauty or calm. For others, it might be love and family. Whatever it is, that is your core values that are the most important to you, and you build out from there instead of a grab bag of whatever.
Got it. So what are my core values, and then work from the inside out. So that's at least now, and then the link is there. People can log on, and I like your lumber sexual plaid flannel. You look so cute in that red on the website when you
Lumber.
do the
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, he looks like he's like gonna go like chop some timber. He looks like the brawny man.
I told you, I'm not the kind of gay that knows how to dress. I just put on a shirt and pray. That's what I do.
don't know. It's we're gay is there's so many different kinds. Like I love it. Do either of you have a question?
I'm sorry. I think Aidan and I should just go on laughter tour, because with your laughter and my laughter,
that's right. We can make ringtones with our laughter.
So for those of you that are watching, Aidan and I, we will be at the Madhouse performing tonight in San Diego. 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock shows. Get there early. It's going to be amazing. The book is on Amazon, the website, The Art of Being Yay. The links are there. Paula, the book, we just popped it in. Do you have any other shows, things coming up that you want to share?
Yeah. We have a fabulous Yo Mamas show. It is part of a fundraiser for my nonprofit. It will be perfect for UK time. It's going to go through Zoom this particular time.
And you get tickets on Eventbrite?
They're on Eventbrite, and the link is there, and I can repop it in again.
So
and it's all female lineup, apart from a male MC, and everything. I'm working with divas in power, and the proceeds are going to go towards us creating a course for victims of trafficking to help stabilize that nervous system. And so that's on Eventbrite. That's happening. Please share and do that. And tomorrow, actually, this is not comedy related, but when I'm there, it's always a little bit. I have a live stream at 3 o'clock Pacific time on Aware Meditations YouTube, which is with meditation. But I'm speaking to a meditation teacher from the UK who actually got COVID and was hospitalized. And how her doctors couldn't believe her recovery from it with meditation. And this is hitting two areas for me. One, that we are real people that teach meditation and alternative health. We are people who live in the world. And two, it's how we adapt to that world. And this is going to be a really powerful message for people to hear who are fearful of COVID, who've never known anyone got it, but she was hospitalized in the UK, a single mom, and how she adapted with it and how it did affect her. The story is actually still in the Vedic meditation stories, but she'll be there. That's 3 o'clock. And if not, you can always go check the live stream. It's a maximum of an hour. So that's something else.
Yes. Click it. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Boom. That link right there. Comedy on the Commons. We are bringing you comedy with a mission. We are doing what I call transformative comedy, which is taking your Achilles heel, your wound, and turning it into your Athenian shield and sword. And we are going to get up, rock the house. It's family friendly. So bring the kids, bring the chairs, bring the picnic blankets. And it's just going to be an hour of comedy power. And I can't wait. And Aidan he's been like the best roomie ever. We have such a good time. Paula, it has been so good to like reconnect. I can't wait to meet you in live physical person in Los Angeles, or maybe here in San Diego. We'll see how the universe brings us. One more time, Paula, please read Ray's. I love your accent.
Ray, thank you all. I'm so glad to have met Paula and Aidan tonight. I hope the show goes well tonight, Iggy.
Thank you. We love you, Ray. We love Wales, UK, New York, London, everybody. Misfit Toys. Check us out tomorrow. Follow the links. Find your why. And then broadcast it unapologetically because you have found your authenticity. What an amazing show. Thank you so much. Thank you, Paula. Thank you,
Thank
Aidan.
you.
Thank
Neither
you.
of you guys are going out of my sweat.